Monarch Media presents the latest edition of Wake Up with Wilder, our weekly look at the Old Dominion University football program with head football coach Bobby Wilder. Coach, tough week down at FIU for a number of different reasons. You said the word of the week is frustrating.
Yeah, incredible how frustrating that game was, Ted. Our players after the game in the locker room as down as I've ever seen them. Yesterday we came over and talked about it, and you've always got to try to pick them back up. You got to learn a lesson and pick them up. And what I talked to them about is the frustration is it's deserving to be frustrated, but we've got to use that to motivation to improve. I explained to them we didn't practice well last week. We weren't ready to go on Tuesday, didn't have a good one. Wednesday wasn't much better, and those are our two most important days. So we've talked about the importance of this week and how important it is to come out and practice well. And you could see it in the game, Ted, the situational football, when you're on the road and you're an underdog, you have to be successful. You have to score when you got 3 plays from the one. When you got a wide open onside kick, you've got to kick the ball 10 yards so you can get it. And there were just so many frustrating things in that game to outgain them in the first half and the second half. To have 500 yards of offense and only have 12 points, I've never seen that.
Let's think about the end of the first half, because still very much a good football game going on right there with a first and goal from the one. Is it execution? Is it play calling? Is it good defense? What did you run into after you looked at the tape?
Clearly execution. David throws a great ball and Travis Fulgham drops it. You got to make that catch. You're not going to have anything wide open. Very rarely you're going to have something wide open down on the goal line. We dropped that. The next one, he just throws it a little bit late. Duhart catches it, but he can't get his feet down. The defender pushes him out. And then on the third down run, David should have pulled it. The one he handed off to Ray Lowry, should have pulled it. It was going to be a one-on-one, him and the safety, but I'll take that any day. And I just felt like at that point it was not a field goal that we needed. We needed to score. And we had set it up, Ted, by deferring the toss to start the game, where we wanted to have the ball at the end of the first half, score, and then get the ball at the second half and score. That's like a turnover. And we didn't score in the end of the first half. Pascal has a 75-yard touchdown run to start the second half, so we should have been ahead 20-17 early in the third quarter.
Is it difficult to keep one game in perspective after that type of performance?
It's really challenging. Not as much on the coaches, but it is on the players, because they're just so frustrated. We're playing such good defense. Our goal was to eliminate their run game, which we did. We eliminated their run game. They did not run the ball against us, and they started the game wanting to run the ball, and we were holding the quarterback in check until the third quarter. We let a couple of huge plays out. They threw for 250 of their 390 yards in the third quarter on a couple really long plays, which we had not given up during the year. So all those things, those frustrations just mount and add up. And it's a 2012 game, Ted. It was 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. We got a first down, and David throws a bad interception. He throws the ball up for grabs. They score off of that. We fumble the kickoff return. Zach slips, and the ball pops out. So another turnover. 0 turnovers in the first half, Ted, 3 in the second half, and that led to the score being the way it was.
So you turn the page on FIU and you welcome in unbeaten in the league, Western Kentucky, a tall challenge, to say the least.
Yeah, this is going to be a great football team. They've got a Heisman Trophy candidate at quarterback in Brandon Dowdy, who's one of the leading players in the country. And we're banged up right now. We have 26 players that are injured. David Washington's hurt. He won't play this week, so we've got to regroup. We've got to bounce back, and we're going to have to play very well in this game to stay with this team.
As of Monday morning when we're taping this, what is the condition of David Washington?
His knee was hurt in this game. Fortunately, the doctors, we x-rayed it after the game. There was nothing broken. The doctors do not think there's a tear of the ACL or MCL. He had an MRI yesterday. We should get the results today. It looks like it's a really bad bruise. He's in a walking cast right now, and it's extremely sore. He got hit. He got a blindside hit. Player fell into his leg, so it looks like he's going to be out for this week.
Easier when you're winning, not so easy when you're losing. Lessons can be taught and learned at this point. What's your message for your guys as the sky seems to be falling?
Yeah, it was turn frustration into motivation. Motivate yourself to show up with tremendous focus this week. I challenged them to get over here today to watch a lot of video. We need to have our best practices of the year this week, and it always goes back to practice, Ted. It always goes back to full speed attention to detail and having focus for that 6 seconds that a play is happening. We didn't have it last week, and those are the ebbs and flows with a young football team. We're one of the youngest in the country, and that happens to us, but we've got to take that lesson of all those things that were frustrating and turn them into motivation this week.
Can't do anything about Saturday except for learn from it and improve upon it. Practice this week, and then at noon on Saturday, the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky make their first visit to Foreman Field at SB Ballard Stadium. Coach, thanks for the time.
You got it, Ted.
That's this edition of Wake Up with Wilder here on Monarch Media.